Hey guys, welcome to another Real Estate Lunchbox. I am your host, Leon Duncan. Today is June. What is that? What is that? June the 8th. We're gonna get it started because I haven't been here for about a week. Yeah, we haven't been here for a week, so your boy's gonna be going ahead and we're gonna cover some topics we haven't covered before. Look at me. I'm getting everything situated. We need to go ahead and pause. I don't want to hear that in the background. Man, give a shout out where you're at. Shout out your city. Shout out where you're at. We rocking, guys. We rocking. Another real estate lunchbox. This is where culture meets real estate. Man. Great to be here. Good to be back. Your boy been going for about a week, couple of days, right? Probably about a week and a half. Got the opportunity to get some rest, man. I got to get some rest. Sometimes when you do this, when you're streaming, and I still do real estate and some other stuff, you still, you get a rest. You got to rest, man. It's crazy. You rest, and then while you're resting, it seemed like you get God the opportunity to do what he got to do. Had some great things that happened, and hey, man, I'm just great to be here. I'm happy to be here. So let's get this popping because it may seem a little slow. I may feel a little lethargic, right? Lethargic. But let's get this popping. We're back again. We're gonna talk. Got a couple topics we're gonna talk about. We're gonna cover. Let's cover. We're gonna talk a little bit about the World Cup coming to Atlanta and the World Cup in Atlanta. Experiences with the World Cup. We heard a lot about the Airbnbs with the World Cup, and I've heard, and I've actually had a chance to drive down there and check it out. I'm like, bro, will they be ready? I don't even know if they'll be ready for Georgia. I don't know, man. We may or may not be ready. Who knows? But at the end of the day, let's talk about that. California, shoot, 2.5 billion dollars given to help rebuild the Palisades. The money can't be found. Gotta love California. AI. Man, I've been reading. I had some time when I was off to chill out and read some and listen to a lot of articles on AI and what AI, how it's actually been affecting the work market. And honestly, man, I'm gonna tell you one thing I feel like I'm feeling right now. Honestly, I really feel some of the stuff that we've been given and told about AI, as far as in it making it impossible for people to work, the need for universal basic income. May I be the one that kind of takes the air out of a lot of people's balloons. And some people may not agree with this, but I believe right now we're being told a lot about AI as far as in it being the next evolution for the American business, for small business owners, big business owners. And I'm gonna share with you some things that I'm looking at when it comes to AI. And honestly, I don't think that it's what we think it is, you know. But I'm not gonna take heck long getting into this. Let's start rocking. Uh, Before I get every show rocking, man, I like to cover a point, something that just popped out on me. So of course I was walking the dog this morning, and Bane was going around pooping, doing what he does, and I just like I came by this and I felt like I needed to share it, man. So let's go.
I got rich when I stopped giving a fuck about what everybody else think and when everybody else was telling me what I should and shouldn't do. When I just 100% dialed in on what made sense for me, and I ain't even talking about YouTube, I'm talking about life. I blew up in life and got rich when I didn't care anymore about anything that anybody was talking about outside of God.
All right. Before we even get into this, I definitely want you guys to like, subscribe, follow for more content. So check this out. This is Anton Daniels. If you don't know, he runs the Millionaire Morning Show, which takes place, I think, Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday. Listen to some of his content. Definitely great person to go ahead and follow. Some people like him, some people don't. Hey, if you can't, if you hate a person because of their opinion and you say, oh, they're bad. I don't like everything Anton has to say, but he brought home some really good points on this. And I really wanted to start this show off talking about this because he's 100% right. And as people begin to wake up from hustle culture, I know I see it in Atlanta. I see it in real estate also. I've seen it in content creation. I've seen it in streaming, and I'm seeing it more and more as people begin to wake up from what hustle culture told us we needed to be like or do in order to be successful. You tend to find out that you've been imitating the wrong people, or you've just been imitating people. And I think this is true for a lot of people. You start off imitating them because it's easy, because, hey, if they're doing it, I can do that too. And you find out as you go that it really wasn't your design. And when you wake up, you find out that you were imitating somebody else's design for success, and you never took the time to actually look and discover what your design is. And I find a lot of people end up going down this route simply because it's easy. It's the most easiest thing to do. And in a lot of cases, some of the things they would actually speak about would actually be very controversial to people, right? Probably may be so controversial where people will leave bad and negative comments, which is something that happens a lot. It happens on some of my videos, even if it runs to 39, 30, 40,000, it doesn't matter. You always get one person saying, or a couple of people saying some real stupid shit. Well, honestly, I grew up worse. I grew up not caring, but it was a point in time you got older, you start caring. But when it comes to this, damn, I had to grow to that point of I really don't care anymore. I really don't. See, what I've seen and I've discovered from real estate to content to all of that stuff, when you start making people and how people feel, when you start looking at how people feel and you gauge and you pivot off of how they feel, you find out down the line that their feelings was a half-cocked opinion, okay, or thought about a topic. And a lot of times, so what? Who cares what they had to say, okay? But you let these people's thoughts and their opinions frame what you're going to do and how you expect to have your life like. And I see that so much. I mean, I got 4 kids. I got the youngest one. I'm talking to him about that right now. It's like, so what people do and what they don't do. It's all about, what did God tell you to do? How did he design you? What's pressing on your spirit? So Anton breaks this down really well. So I just wanted to share this. Let's go into it.
And that includes my daughter, my family, my wife, my church, my people, everything. When I dialed into God and said, okay, give me that voice, give me that little still voice, point me in the direction that I'm going in, and I'm going to be unapologetically me, unapologetically raw. And this is where I'm going to go, is when I took off. When I ignored everything and everybody around me and I said, all right, God, point me in the right direction. And how do I need to play this, is when I took off. And so what I'm telling y'all is, y'all gonna have to dial the fuck in. You're gonna have to start putting away all of these different people and all of these different voices that keep on. I'm not the only person that got a calling on my life. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm not the only person that's from the hood that's supposed to get rich outside of dribbling a fucking basketball or rapping or singing on a microphone. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's more people that are supposed to live an incredible lifestyle that do it the right way. But the reason that most people can't capitalize off of the God-given blessings and talent that we have in our life is because we got so much noise all around us, and you keep joining groups and being like this person and listening to this person. Half of y'all listening to people that can't give you 2 nickels. They can't rub 2 nickels together, but they got some dominion over your life on how you supposed to live your life.
That starts from not just parents, but also it starts with definitely with friends. Definitely with friends. I used to have a friend, and I considered him to be a friend at one time, that always had something negative to say about what I did. You start to, like, yeah, I'm gonna go race. So yeah, let's race, man. Oh, you can't race, man. You too old. Like, nigga, I do a 1 mile in under 9. I do a 1 mile in under 8 right now. What do you mean I can't race, young bull? See, when we keep letting these people trap us in their lies, it's their insecurity that you are dealing with. A lot of times, this is their insecurity. A lot of times, they haven't brought themselves to a point where they can break out of that fear matrix. And so they continuously draw you into that fear matrix. And then it's even worse when they have never been down that road before. They've never flipped a property. They say they own property, but they really don't own property. They've never really done any real estate deals before. And granted, I'm going to tell you, some vets are still wrong too. We make mistakes, but it is a clear difference between making a mistake, and then kind of like trying to teach people or show people how to do shit that you've never done. I I even got to a point. I told there was a joke that came on TikTok. My wife showed it to me. She said, "Yeah, there's a new rule that Trump's going to pass, saying that you have to own a house to be a realtor, or you got to own some property." And I started laughing. I said, laughing. Then I said, "Yeah, that's great." She said, "I'm just playing." But for me, I thought it was real because I found out that the people who really don't do shit, they always seem to be the people that got everybody fucking following them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They always got an opinion, never done anything, never did anything. And they tend to make people who are looking from the outside in believe everything that they say. And I don't know how that happens. I don't know why it happens. I think a lot of it has to do, in my personal opinion, having to do with confidence, security, validation. Maybe they find peace in the words that the person says, but they really don't know how to execute it. You know, they like some things about the person. They think that that means for everybody. There is a unique role for every single person. There's a unique road. Some groups and some teams and some places you really don't need to be. No matter how much it fits your program, no matter how much it looks like it's in your program, you honestly don't need to be there. But it goes back to what I've always preached, and I've always said it. You have to be able to discern the time. You have to be able to discern if something is right or if it's wrong. And a lot of people they don't have great discernment. And I don't say it to kick them down, because there's been times my discernment got twisted up because my emotions because I'm sitting down there looking and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this too. I'm going to do that too. No, you don't need to do that. And I didn't discern what was going on. I didn't stop and say, hey, that worked great for him, but it would never work for me because I know I'm built like this, and this, and he's built like that. That takes a different level of intuition. And it goes past emotional IQ. Okay.
I'm not taking no advice from no broke people. I'm not taking no advice from no dusty people. I'm not taking no advice from no crackheads. And I'm so sick and tired of people keep telling you, oh man, you can listen to people who messed up. No, I can't. No, I can't. It's too many people that got a blueprint to how to do it successfully for me to be listening to a broke nigga.
Ooh.
I can't listen. You might have some advice on something else that's completely separate from how I'm supposed to be successful. But if you never got it, if you never touched it, I don't want no advice from you. I'm not interested in hearing what you got to say. I don't want nothing from you. I don't want nothing from you. And I'm on a pathway. My life, man. Listen, bro. I woke up this morning and I was walking around the house praying because I just got back down here this morning because I was gonna go out to the studio because I was out in the suburbs. I got a crib out in the I got a couple cribs out in the suburbs, and I got this down here. So this is the corporate apartment. This is actually owned by my company. This one is owned by the company, and a whole nother wave. Don't worry about it. I've been able to make some moves, so that's a whole nother conversation. I don't want to talk about it right now. That's bag chaser conversation. You know what I'm saying? So this one is owned by the company, and I was walking around the house in the suburbs praying, right? And I usually go into the different rooms and I'll pray for my daughter. I'll pray, for everything and everybody and everyone around me. And so I walk around my house and I kind of pace in the morning a lot of times and I'll pray. And God revealed to me the vision that he had for my life. And it was so grand. It was like so much bigger than I could ever even envision for my life. And I was okay. And I said, I had to catch myself for a minute, and I was,
you heard what he just said. He said God revealed to him the vision for his life, and I had to stop right there because a lot of people don't, they live out other people's visions, but they don't live out their vision for their life. Okay? They don't live out the vision that God put in their heart for their life because they constantly play this game of competing with other people or chopping other people down that don't need to be chopped down. And all of it comes out of a place of insecurity, inferiority, fear, inability to move, no motion, all kinds of things. You're doing better than I am, or well, I'm not doing this and you are. Oh no. The competitive jealousy, the insecurity, the inferiority. You think that that your friends and the people that are around you don't experience that? I'm here to tell you 100% that the closest people that you keep saying are your buddies. Honestly, they experience it. And if they're not, if you don't see it on them, then that's an even bigger problem. Because the biggest challenge I had when I did not see the deceptive movements of those that I let into my inner court. Okay. And when you don't see those deceptive movements, what ends up happening is they come in and they wreck up a whole bunch of shit. They just come in and just wreck it up because their lives are jacked up also. Why do y'all be friends or build these relationships with people? If you look at whose lives you can look at and clearly say, I don't want my life to be like that. Whether it's your homegirl who gives you this, like gives you information and she's trying to tell you something and her life is I'm like, I can't trust you. You got like 3, 4, 5 baby daddies and you don't even have a baby. You don't have a daddy. You don't have a baby. You got 3, 4, 5 babies, and then you got each one of them got a separate baby daddy. And I'm supposed to follow you. I mean, you're supposed to listen to her. Or what about the dude that you know that got, I know one cat swore up and down. He just, oh yeah, I got a kid right here, kid right there, kid over here, and 2 at home with him with the girl. And those are other different baby mamas. See, we don't discern. And you may say, oh, well, Leon, he may have some great things to say. No. He's not making any great decisions when it comes to the children he's bringing into this world, the spouse, the person that he decide that he's going to have as his love, his baby mama, doesn't no clue. But we still look at these people and we still deem the wisdom that comes out of their mouth, not even thinking that wisdom comes out of people's mouths that are demonic all the time. People give demonic wisdom left and right, like screwed up, effed up. Like I'm even talking about Anton and I'm playing his video, but I was before this video, I was looking at another video and I dropped a comment and said, that's not true. I don't agree with that. But it's cool. I know it's cool. It's okay. I'm not supposed to. Anton didn't read the books I read concerning that topic. He only took the advice or read whatever books he knew up to that point in time. And it's true for everyone. You don't know everything. You really don't. But man, I dropped this and I have to put this out there because this is the thing, in my opinion, that screws up real estate deals, real estate relationships, people in real estate. It's a constant competition and a lack of confidence where they're at that point in time. You got the newbies that are trying to be advanced, and when you tell them some shit, they don't even listen to you. They're like, oh yeah, I got this, and they figure it out down the line. Nobody gives a fuck if you cancel the damn contract. Nobody cares, All these different things keep us in a certain place, and then we sit back and we say generational wealth. We say generational wealth and forget that generational wealth begins with a mindset, an attitude, but we will complain, blame the white man, blame every single person. And I'm talking about from a black perspective. If you're white, you probably will blame black people. I don't know. You might blame your mom, your dad, your sister, cousin, brother. Who the hell knows? Okay. Somebody's got to get the blame as long as it's not you. And that is true for a lot of people. So they will sue, lie, complain, destroy, kill, rob, because they're trying to achieve something. And they don't realize that what they're trying to achieve, a lot of times, is not even God's will for them. A lot of times it's so toxic and it's self-centered. And I've always believed that wealth, which real estate generates a lot of wealth. It generates wealth for people, money for people. That generation is God gives you that to now be a blessing, not just to take care of your family, not to just to be an example to your family, but to be a blessing to other people. Now I'm going off right now. Let's let me
Like,
finish this.
but God, I'm still appreciating you for what you've already done for me. I couldn't envision what my life is right now. I knew I'd be great. I knew I'd be successful. I didn't know that this was the way that you was going to do it. And he was just like, you couldn't see this until you got here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some of y'all can't see success, the type of success that you're supposed to have, because you're too busy in the mire with people that can't add value into your life. And those people were supposed to be for a season, but you stuck around too long, too loyal to the wrong people.
Ooh.
That's what's wrong with us. We too loyal to the wrong people.
100% on point. And you may not agree with this. I know a bunch of people that probably going to watch this and they will just click and go to the next video. Oh, he's crazy. He's talking crap. But but the fact is, most people are like this. Too loyal to the wrong people. I've seen presidents that are too loyal to the wrong people. What not you? What not little you working at your job, making your money, 100K, whatever it may be. And there is a toxicity, almost a destruction and a erosion that occurs when you're so loyal to the wrong people. I wish some people that I was very loyal to coming up in the ranks in real estate, not just that, but just in life, social aspect, that I did not give them that level of loyalty because they don't deserve it. They never did deserve it. I wanted, and I esteem the gift that I saw in them, which a lot of us do. That's why y'all like some of these artists. Y'all loyal to the artists because you see their gifts and your talents, and you're like, man, that's a great gift and a talent. Maybe I can help push it. Maybe I can learn something. Maybe I can. No. When you realize, just like, but it's common. It's really common. You see it in Diddy with Cassidy. You see it with all these people. You'll be loyal to these people that don't give a shit about you. That really don't. And it's cool because they really aren't supposed to. Really, that shouldn't even rock you that they don't care. Really, what at all? It shouldn't concern you. Why? Because you should really have a level of self-confidence, be valid, be able to stand on your own feet. I don't need to trash anybody to beat anybody. Put it like that. I never did. I never had to. Never don't care to. Because what God has for me, and I'm telling you this morning, Monday morning, June, what's this, the 8th? What God got for you, got for you. That's it. See, this world is going to go crazy. We're going to have a bunch of stuff that happens. We talking universal basic income, AI, people losing jobs, degrees becoming less than what they're valued at, people trying to work 3 to 4 jobs just to make ends meet, trying to deal with this, trying to deal with that. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of where your mindset is, because the reality of it is you can sing that scammer song, but when they catch your ass is grass.
Oh, no.
Okay? So keep following them losers.
That was the message. We too loyal to the wrong shit. How you gonna be a person that love God, but then separate yourself based off of things that people can't control? How you gonna separate yourself based off of race when he said that he give the comforter to the Jew and the Gentile alike? You're not hearing me. You're not hearing me. This ain't a race-based conversation. This is not a gender-specific conversation. This is not a coast-specific conversation. This is not a city versus city conversation. This is, how do we define our culture to be something that is God-given, not something that we deem necessary for ourselves? It's not about you. Your success can't come because of you. It got to come from your obedience. And that's the difference between me and you, is that you listen to niggas. I listen to God.
See, and when God tell you to do certain things or move a certain type of way, if you don't have that level of relationship, I'm gonna tell you from Tucker Carlson, Tucker Carlson, Tucker Tucker Carlson, Tucker. He put out this video, man. And I was watching it when I was on vacation. I think the guy was talking about dominating in the United States and throughout the world, leadership and how they merge spiritual and practical, and the fact that we live in this physical in the West. The West doesn't look at the need for a spiritual driver relationship balancing with the natural physical things they see. So what am I saying? They depend on what they see and not what they don't see. Okay. They're more driven by what they see and what they don't see. That's how the West has trained a lot of people. But the leaders who rise, those who are successful, whether you deem it right or wrong and by the world standard, that's a whole completely different conversation. They understand there's a spiritual lever. Yeah, it is a lever, right? Yeah, it's a lever. It's a pool. There's a spiritual pool, and then you've got the physical pool, physical lever. And we spend so much time getting our degrees, get our certifications, doing all this work, finding a job, interviewing, getting in that position, building that business, and you pulling that physical lever down. And you never take the time to pull the spiritual lever down. Because you think that really doesn't, I'm not spiritual. That's spiritual stuff. That stuff don't mean nothing. And then you wonder why things happen in your life and you can't control, like you spiral out of control. It's because the spiritual was always designed to be the foundation for the physical. The physical was designed to push out of the spiritual. I know I'm not crazy in what I'm saying, because I took this whole weekend, when I was off for a week, I was just really looking at analyzing that. And I understood, and I'm not talking about going to church, passing out, doing this whole Pentecostal, running around. I used to be Pentecostal, so that's why I use it. Stop. I'm not coming at you for being Pentecostal. If you're Pentecostal, good for you. Whatever. You do what you got to do. But that whole little thing right there, this whole religious thing where you go to church and you have all these warm emotions and feelings and you come out and 2 days later you can't really do anything, or you don't forgot what you learned, or you just said it was a great experience and you think church is an experience when it's really, you're really supposed to be learning. It's supposed to be like a school. It's supposed to be educating you on how to dominate. So we don't never put the spiritual or give it the credit that it needs to be given in order to push you further in life. You only focus on the physical. You only focus on what you can hear, see, and feel. And I'm here to tell you that a lot of the leaders in this world don't focus on what they can hear, see, and feel. Y'all like to talk Illuminati, all these other conspiracies, but these are spiritual things that these people are attempting to do to affect the physical world. And you just sit in the physical world and you yell about these spiritual things or these conspiracies or these groups. Man, it's crazy. Aliens and AI all at the damn same time. Oh, no. I'm like, dude, we got aliens and AI at the same time.
So you can't understand why you can't stop me, but your God versus my God. Your God is the niggas in the street that you listen to. It's anybody that you put before God. My God is different. So I don't listen to people. Nobody can tell me what to do. When people tell me to humble myself, to who? To who? Who am I to humble myself before? There's nobody that can stand before me. The devil got to get permission to kick it, to touch me. I don't listen to people. I listen to God. Nobody, not a woman, not a man, not a nigga on the internet, not black people, white people, not the fucking president of the United States of America. I don't care about nothing and nobody. I don't give a fuck. If God don't say go, I don't move. If he
and don't come on here talking about y'all cussing. I don't care what you think. You see, because this is the lie I find that I found. People want to go out and to try to be great, try to be a better person, try to love their neighbor, try not to do all these different, which are all great things you really want to aspire to that. But the reality of it is I employ God to help me do that. You don't. Most people don't. They try to do it out of their own effort. And then in doing it out of their own effort, they miss the whole point. God, we are instruments for God's use. I'm telling you, you missed the point. You out there trying to make yourself great. And it may go for a little bit. It may be really well. It may work out for a little bit for you. It may. But damn, don't never run into a problem that your brain can't fix and your logic can't comprehend, or you just can't make work. You're going to come to a place of realizing that all this stuff, and I think a lot of people are getting to that place right now, just with the way the economy is, the way things are setting up. I see more people facing foreclosure, losing jobs, trying to struggle to make ends meet. They jump on social media and all you do is talk about it. And I'll do reaction videos on it because I know I need to cover that. I put it on my heart. You know what I'm saying? I need to cover it. And it's not to laugh at you, but it's to show from your spilling out on the net to other people who may never see your video, who may never see that reaction video you did on TikTok. You got 1,000 views and you're like, I put my spirit out there. Nobody, I take it and I share it with other people. He does, other content creators do. Why do we do this? We do this simply because what you're experiencing, we know that other people out there are experiencing. We know some people don't talk about it. We know some people just dwell on it. Some people love to run that victim Olympics. They love to be sprinting, oh, the world's against me, I'm moving to another country. And we know some people just need answers. Just need like some solutions. And that reaction video, I like to cover things that I possibly have dealt with or I've possibly seen and experienced. And I can probably share with you a little bit more. But damn, man, I'm telling you, a lot of the problems that people are facing right now in this economy in this season is because we were listening to niggas. I'm going to straight up tell you that. You're listening to niggas. Don't worry about it, too. I don't attack people for doing that because I'm going to tell you at the same time, we all have been there. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, I grew up and I never listened to anybody. No, it was something. You listened to somebody, whether it was Cheerios, Fruity Pebbles. You're like, oh, dude, you got Fruity Pebbles. Mom, can I get some Fruity Pebbles too? No. Don't let nobody ever have you think that that's a lie. That's the truth. Hold on. What's up, babe? I'm streaming. You good? Okay. Love you. Gotta stop when she call. You know what I'm saying? Got to.
Congratulations. Well done.
But yeah, man, I just need to share that. And it probably went a little bit further out. Let me let him run this for a little bit more.
They go, I'm running over everything. And it ain't nothing that you can do that can ever change my mind because I'm so fervent in my belief and in my prayers and in myself that I know that I don't even care about the six. Bro, I've grown to the point to where I don't care about money. That's why I give so much of it away because I can't outgive God.
See, when people, you look at this and some people look and say, oh, he's lying. I believe the truth that he says there. I believe that because I've had deals, I've had mad seasons where money's just flowing. And you've had deals where you get like, you mean you do a $50,000 deal? You're like, oh God. And I did one deal before and I was like, because there was a point in time where that money satisfies something. Then after a while, you start seeing all the craziness. You're like, this money really doesn't satisfy it. Because I've got so much in me that I learned from that experience that if I can't share with people, that right there, that satisfies me. It's not the dollar, it's the sharing that information so that people don't go down the line and do it. That possibly we can wake some other people up to what's really going on and they can change their lives. Hell, if you just want to get on social and listen to content just because you want to listen to it, go ahead and do it. I prefer to do shit with a purpose, honestly. I do. Because real talk, if I wasn't doing this and it wasn't about real estate or I wasn't doing that to help people or to put out what I know is true, what I know worked for me, I would go away and walk away because I really don't care. I don't need to be on this. I'm here because God told me to come here. He told me to make content. told me to put it out there, told me to share it. Because I've spent my life going one-to-one and seeing the one that I go to just do stupid shit. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. Now there's a concept called going one-to-many. And that's really what social does. This content game allows us to go one-to-many. And yeah, you have content creators that are getting out the game, and I truly believe they get out because they don't really have anything truly to offer you. Probably their name carried weight at one time. But after a period of time, how many times you're gonna sit back and watch Joe Fat Joe complain, or Jada complain, or them talk on the couch? Damn, when do you get out there and be about it? Like, yeah, like when do you? Man, let me let them finish this. I'm rocking to the next one. Hold on.
It's the honest to God truth. I help people. I give to their businesses. I tabs to the streets. I give away whole fucking cars because I can't outgive what's coming to me. I can't take this stuff with me. The money is a reflection of my belief in what God has ordained for me to do. The reason why I'm so successful is because I'm obedient.
I would say the reason why he probably sees it as obedience, and obedience is not nothing wrong. I see it more as the grace to continue, you know, the grace to keep going, the grace to make those moves, that left and that right move, because you hear him. And I'm gonna continue to say it because a lot of this stuff that we talk about in real estate is not that people need to know more blocking and tackling. If anything, they need to know more strategy and mental mapping, and actual conversations, but people don't like to have that. They prefer to go after the money. I've seen enough people in this real estate space. All they do is fucking think about the money. I've seen the greed. I've seen all that shit. They do dumb stuff, make dumbass decisions, and they blame it on people. Blame it on me, blame it on another person, blame it on this person. That's the way that it is. And what it is not anything legit, but the fact that they just don't know. They just stupid. They just ignorant. And everybody has a place where they're ignorant at. And when you deal with ignorant people, I'm telling you, when you deal with people that don't know what they're doing or don't know how to do things, and you try to share with them and they're just going to do it the way they want to do it, you should just let them go do what the hell they want to do when they want to do it, you know? But yo, man, this bro just dropped some really good game. And I'm not afraid to mention and say that people got good game. If a person has good game, and I've seen people hate on this cat more than anything the freak else. I don't know how, why, what's the reason, but I've seen them do it. All right, shoot, let's rock. All right, man. So, shoot, that's my warm up. I like to warm up a show. I gotta drop jewels because you gotta see, real estate has less to do with what do I do, my data. Talking data. Data's out there. Zillow has a bunch of data. What do you entertain? What are you here for? Right? What are you here for? I tell people, what are you here for? Because Zillow has a bunch of data. You can ask ChatGPT a whole bunch of shit. The only thing you can't get from them is they can tell you, but they can't quite explain to you how to execute upon things with the right mentality. Like, if you make a video, damn, continue to make videos. Who gives a fuck if nobody watches it? You're going to drop one and the algorithm is going to pick it up down the line. Who knows? But yo, man, the World Cup is coming to Atlanta, and it's going to start this year. We're in June. It's going to start this month. We're in June. I don't think Atlanta's ready for the World Cup. Hey, like, subscribe, follow for more content. Let's talk about this.
Well, the FIFA World Cup is set to come to Atlanta in less than 2 weeks, and safety is top of mind for everyone who plans to join those festivities.
Absolutely. Joe Ripley is here with a look at how we can all stay safe while having fun at the same time.
Yes, there will be a lot going on. Law enforcement at every level are working now in conjunction to make sure their bases are covered. But it is important to stay vigilant during this World Cup, knowing thousands of people might be in Atlanta for the very first time.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium will soon become FIFA Atlanta Stadium, with the World Cup setting the stage for the biggest event in Atlanta in 30 years.
And of course, Atlanta is already known for its traffic, but there's going to be even more traffic. We're going to have out-of-state drivers. We're going to have a significant uptick.
That alone tells me Atlanta's not ready. You got to see, to get to certain places in the city of Atlanta, you're going to be 30, 40 minutes in traffic easy, depending on where you go. it got easy. I think the average time to get to a good place is probably going to be about an hour, 45. And a lot of people aren't ready for that. We navigate Atlanta's traffic the way that Atlanta people navigate the traffic. I know that's so broad. But what do I want to say? I'm not going to say that we get in road rage. I used to get pissed off at Atlanta traffic. After a while, I just I just let it be. Oh, no. You know? And if I could turn on a good YouTube video or a good podcast and listen to it, it just makes the travel game a whole lot easier. But I don't think a lot of people in Atlanta are really ready mentally to what's about to take place. I think a lot of it, we're excited. We're ready to go, and we're gonna talk some more about it because I got some other clips I'm gonna react to real quick about people. Some of y'all out here renting apartments, like. Well, anyway, I'm not even gonna get into that. That's a different conversation, but we're gonna talk about that probably in the next video or the video after this. But do I think the city's mentally ready? I saw cranes down at the Bluff. Yeah. I've seen cranes at the Bluff. I still see them building down there. I know that they had to cover that doggone Mercedes-Benz freaking sign on the stadium because FIFA, there was some type of rule where they're not partnered with Atlanta with Mercedes-Benz, and I think they're partnered with their own type of. Do they have Audi? I think they have Audi or Volkswagen. It's not Volkswagen, but they have another car company that they're sponsored with. So the Mercedes-Benz emblem had to be covered. That didn't happen, I think, until this weekend. I think it's up now, right? I saw a picture of it. I think it's up now. But everywhere that Mercedes-Benz logo is on the stadium needs to be covered. And it wasn't covered for a while. And you still got a lot of movement. You got Atlanta raised. I saw police officers tracking down felons. I saw a massive push to get MARTA to where it needed to be, to the point where even the Trump administration decided to step in and questioning the safety of MARTA prior to what's taking place in FIFA. Does Atlanta deserve it? Yes, Atlanta deserves it. Atlanta deserves it. I think this is probably the second. I don't think this is going to be close to the 96 Olympics. People want to say it's close to the 96. I don't see it. The time in the season, and we're going to talk some more about that. The ticket prices, oh, shoot. Let's go over the ticket. That's safety. That's safety. Look, before we do that, let's talk about
rideshare usage. And so you really need to be careful. You need to be prepared, and you need to plan.
Personal injury attorney Seth Bader says an influx of tourists and fans will only add to the risk for folks looking to witness the worldwide event.
The FBI encourages the public to remain vigilant when you are present downtown and report anything that you see that seems out of the ordinary to the FBI.
Law enforcement at the federal, state, and local level are working together to ensure safety. Atlanta Police Chief Darren Shearbaum says there will be peak staffing on match days, with police and fire set to spend over $40 million in overtime alone.
If you're here enjoying our city, if you're here carrying out your normal business or enjoying a game, flag down a police officer, call 911. We're going to ensure you have the protection of the law and the dignity of the Constitution while you're here.
And it's a big thing. It's a big thing. We had 3 ladies that were actually stabbed. Three. One lady died, was stabbed to death. Grandma, they cut her neck, the guy cut her throat. See, when people come from all over the world and they converge on Atlanta, it's going to be several other cities that they converge on during this period of time too. Who the hell wants to deal with that level of scrutiny and instability going on in your safety system? Like your police. And it's not the police fault. It's just that you guys got, Atlanta has a bunch of, and you can't even use YN with this. You got to call this niggas. They got a bunch of wild shit going on right now. People that should have been locked up that never got locked up. Some of these judges didn't lock them up. They tried to show them grace. And I don't even think that was grace. I think it was just stupidity. Because they wasn't in a position to change. And they've been raiding neighborhoods that known felons have homes in or live in to pull them out, because they know who wants to have felons robbing people that come into the city of Atlanta for a World Cup. I think that's crazy. But there's also the flip side to it. we forget that we're in a pullback recession economy right now. Okay? And so the effects of it is not just stretching towards safety, it's also coming down now to the cost to actually get into it. And I was looking at this.
What do you think of the ticket prices?
They're rubbish.
A few weeks ago, I asked Scottish soccer fans how they felt about World Cup tickets.
I think right now the cheapest one resale is $800 and it's standing room only.
Tickets on sale, Foxborough, Mass. $761 for nosebleed seats? And that was the day that they went on sale.
The Scots aren't the only fans pissed off.
Here's a game in Miami, Colombia versus Portugal. Lowest price is $2,900.
They're crazier than I could have even imagined.
This better be my seat, right in the middle of the pit.
I need a sugar mommy for this World Cup. I'll take a sugar daddy too.
It's gotten so bad that even the 2026 FIFA Peace Prize winner said he wouldn't pay those prices. I'll take you through my own.
Damn, when Trump says he wouldn't pay that price, you know it's something going on. And I don't think it's going to change. I think we're living in this new economy right now, and they're just getting hit with the new turns in the economy. And it's the fact, and it sucks that it happens here. It sucks that we've been building the MLM, Major League Baseball, Major League Soccer, MLS Soccer. We've been building that up. Atlanta has one of the best teams, honestly. I think we won probably one of the earlier championships when we first started, 5 years ago? A little bit over 5 years ago in the league, right? Since then we haven't done shit. Hey, what's up? Oh no. Y'all need to hurry up. We need to get Martinez and them back down this mud. That was a good run. You know, when we had Martinez and who else was it? Man, we had a whole squad, even down to the coach. And I think he went to Mexico's team, right? But man, the price of these tickets, they going crazy. And I don't think people are buying them enough, in my opinion. I don't think enough people are purchasing, whether resale or brand new tickets, to warrant some of the excitement that's around. And I'm curious to see how many people fly in, because what I'm seeing with the Airbnbs, it's clear to me that the Airbnbs that are there's a low booking rate right now for those.
Experience. One April morning, I logged onto the FIFA website and took my place in a queue.
I was in line trying to get tickets in the queue, and then by the time your time comes up in the queue, they're all gone.
You're waiting for that wheel of doom.
Waiting for that wheel of doom, exactly, and then they're all gone.
6 hours later, I was through, and I found these kinds of prices. Fancy a seat at the semi-final in Dallas for $11,000, and through each successive sales phase, they've increased. For the Uruguay-Spain match, you might have paid 126% more in April than in October. The cheapest ticket to the final from the first sales phase is double the median yearly salary in Ghana or Haiti. For Americans, it's equivalent to about 4 months of marketplace health insurance or a year of full coverage car insurance. The resale tickets are even steeper.
FIFA's resale site has 4 tickets on sale for just under $2.3 million each.
So we're asking,
leave a comment if you go into the World Cup,
why a World Cup ticket price is so high. And by talking to fans and economists and partnering with fellow journalist Sam Ellis from YouTube channel Search Party, our investigation revealed not only how we got here, but where all this money is going. Stay tuned and learn how this became the World Cup for the ultra wealthy. The first thing I was curious about was, how does this cost controversy stack up to past World Cups? Well, even in Qatar, one of the wealthiest nations in the world, the cheapest tickets for group games were marked at $11, flat rate, more than 10 times cheaper than this year.
This is Qatar. Can you imagine how everybody would be going on?
There's one man who knows this isn't the norm. England fan Andy Milne has been to his fair share of World Cups, 9 to be exact. After he kept being spotted in the crowd, he became affectionately known as that World Cup guy. If anyone ever doubted that, for many fans, football is life, Andy has used part of his pension to be in the US this summer.
I did take early retirement in 2022 to go to Qatar. My full pension doesn't come through for a few years.
It's pretty.
Man, I know soccer fans. Some of y'all soccer fans are bananas. I love soccer, but there is no sport that I love that much to actually take my pension out or to take retirement funds out to travel to another country to see. And I know it could be like a life type of thing, a once in a lifetime thing. I agree. I mean, we probably won't have the World Cup here probably for another 10 years, 20 years. Who knows? Who knows? And it could be a once in a lifetime thing. But damn, it doesn't seem like I'm not going to speak for the dude. He probably out there, he probably has other ways of making money. But I think that message of use some of your retirement for entertainment purposes once in a lifetime, you only can live once. I don't know. Everybody's life is different. You're right. I said that before. So everybody's life is different. Some people, that's what they want to do. Like, they love it. Like, they already in their mind, they're like, man, I'm going, period. Ain't nobody holding me back. I'm going to play soccer. I'm going to be on the field, and I'm going to see Pele, and I'm going to see Messi, and I'm going down to Miami where Messi plays. Some of y'all love that joint.
Be clear, these prices and methods of ticket purchasing are quite different from back in the day.
So this is the first one. This is in Spain. The price on that is 800 pesetas. I queued for 3 days to get this one. It was actually great fun. There were loads of fans around outside. We played football during the day. And here's the other sort of Italy, France, the German ones at home, South Africa, that one, Brazil, Russia.
Wow. This really gets up there. I didn't know that World Cup tickets became that expensive. I mean, the way I look at it, like it's not like football. Well, American football, I would say, and American basketball. I mean, it's probably a hell of a lot more popular. Soccer is for sure than American basketball, American football, because that's only popular here and then in certain countries that actually play it. But that's neither here nor there. But the average man, really, soccer, I consider soccer the blue collar average man sport. I consider that. I thought soccer was really just that sport where if you at the pub with your boys or you at the bar with your boys, y'all slinging beers and watching soccer, or you're at the game and y'all watching soccer. $11, $25, probably $100 tickets are great. I think the most I've actually paid for a ticket, an MLS ticket, Atlanta United, I think the most I played, and this is the Mercedes-Benz seats. Like, I'm talking about the Mercedes-Benz seat. If you ever go to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium when Atlanta United's playing, you got one side, which is SunTrust, which is Truist. It used to be like SunTrust, right? Now it's Truist. And then the other side is Mercedes-Benz. And then I think Delta has a piece there. I haven't been to Delta's. I've only been to the AMG, the AMG. I was going to say AML. AMG. Okay. AML cars, they actually sell a lot of Mercedes-Benz. The AMG side, and I've been to the Truist side, right? Yeah. That's the only way to me to watch these games, honestly. Because if you go to the AMG side, you're talking about food, you're talking about lower level, like access right to the field. You get to see the players running right by you, and it's just a better time and better experience. Yeah, you're not paying $25 for a ticket, but let's be honest, I would pay the $80, $90 for that ticket just for the food. I think you get to eat all you can eat. Yeah, we got all you can eat on one side because it's really, and the food is great. Lobster, shrimp, lobster's in the Delta side. I was walking by and I saw that one, but shrimp, you got a lot of stuff down there. So they're doing it at the right place. I think Atlanta Stadium is probably one of the best stadiums in Major League Soccer in the United States. So they got a really good setup down there. If you've been to Atlanta's Major League Baseball, Major League Soccer game, if you ever been to any of that by the Atlanta United, leave a comment. I'm curious what you thought about it. To me, is the best. Is honestly the best. But one thing I did notice with this is, let's go over here. I want to check this out. Man, some of y'all, boy. The cost of these tickets are higher, but at the same time, the rental cost of the apartments and the units, I had to get everybody's feedback. It took me a little bit of time because I said I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just listen to some of this feedback because it's some things that I heard that to me I would never do. I would never do, and I'm trying to figure out what possessed a lot of people to actually do this, and we'll talk more about it. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Let me show you this.
Get as many Airbnbs as you can before the World Cup comes to America. The World Cup starts June 11th, especially if you're in a city where there's World Cup games. I don't care if you have to go sleep on a friend's couch or whatever you have to do. Do not miss out. There's so much money that's going to be made. You need to be a part of it, especially if you've been thinking about it, if you've been sitting on the sidelines. This is not the time to just be chilling. Let this opportunity pass by. Again, if you're in a city where there's World Cup games, you need to get as many Airbnbs as you can. I'm getting 4 pictured right now. I have additional 3 that is going to get pictured. And then also I'm in negotiations with an additional 4. I'm trying to do as much as I can, get credit, whatever it might be. You need to get involved.
I'm expecting it to be a packed out event. I've already gotten inquiries about people coming.
Trishima Harris is an Airbnb host in Atlanta.
This room right here also can fit up to 4 people in. If someone's renting the entire space, I do it at $250 to $300 a night, depending on what's going on.
But when the World Cup comes to Atlanta in June, she plans to raise her rates.
We could be going anywhere from $400 to $500.
Airbnb guests are projected to bring a $70 million economic boost to the city of Atlanta.
Atlanta's a great market for short-term rentals. So
Harris says she bought this house near Atlanta's airport for short-term stays.
You're going to have a lot of people coming in and out. So we stay booked.
Hold on. So you guys are buying and renting these places strategically just for the World Cup? Because that's what he was saying. He's getting 4 other places just for the World Cup. As someone who owned an Airbnb, and I still partially own it right now, damn. I don't see that as an intelligent move, but, you know, I may not know anything. Y'all may be smarter than me. You know, y'all got all of that stuff figured out.
Hey, y'all, come with me today to move into one of my Airbnbs. So here's the cashier check. Here's me getting to the leasing office. Y'all, they had me some champagne waiting. They know the leasing agent at this unit is very helpful. She know I do Airbnb, so she
got you drinking while you signing a lease, girl. Oh, damn. Where is that place? Let me know.
Been making this process super simple and easy for me. With all my costs should come around $1,600 a month for this unit. And I'm about to make $8,500 in that 1 month with the World Cup coming to Atlanta and Airbnb. What y'all doing? What y'all waiting on? Period. Let's get this money.
World Cup sales are.
I want you to think about that. She said her monthly is $1,600. Her average cost she's anticipating to make $8,500. That's only 1 month. Let's say we have spillover and we do 2 months. What the hell you're going to do for the other 11 to 10 months out of the year? Are they just giving you a half a year lease? Are they just, if they're leasing it to you for a month or 2, why can't they do it themselves? All of these things don't make sense. This is why I say the hustle culture that we have in Atlanta, and not just Atlanta, is also in the urban. Is anywhere you go that's urban is like that. That hustle culture. You don't think shit through. And I'm not beating you up because I didn't think shit through on stuff too when I was in that hustle culture. What you going to do with the unit for the other 11 to 10 months? I'm just curious.
Falling dramatically short of expectations.
Yeah, really disappointed here. So 11 Alive Chase House spoke with hotel managers in Midtown who were preparing for packed rooms but are now having to adjust those plans.
A source at one hotel tells me they projected $600,000 in revenue for the month of June. And get this, according to my source, they only have $13,000 on the books right now. But it's not just massive hotel chains affected. Some Airbnb hosts are feeling it too.
It's 1 month away from the matches being played, and my place isn't booked at all.
That's Omo Akintoy. He took to TikTok to talk about his Airbnb still not being booked ahead of the World Cup.
All right, so this one's for the people who have Airbnbs or own hotels that are near any of the stadiums that FIFA is playing any of the matches. So I have an Airbnb that's only 5 minutes away from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. The house is huge, everything is customized in there. I know because I designed it and built it myself. So generally, my place is always booked. Since FIFA was coming, we went ahead and increased the prices a little bit. It's 1 month away from the matches being played, and my place isn't booked at all for any of the FIFA games, which is insane. I also did research before I even increased the prices, and the FIFA customer that travels to another country to go watch their country play, they don't care how much things are. They usually just pay the money. It's so bad out here. I don't know, you have to tell me if y'all book or not, because I'm not booked. And if I'm a traveler and I'm coming from, another country, by this time, I should know where I'm staying, because that's pretty reckless, right? For the majority of people, they're not doing that. So please let me know in the comments. Are y'all booked yet, or what's going on? The loss that I'm taking right
Ooh, I think he did great research when it came to finding out that they actually pay when they go to other countries. And he owns his own place. So that's great. I think that's smart. That's smart. I mean, it's not like he's doing it specifically for the World Cup. Now, I may be wrong. He could have actually did all of this in preparation a year or two ago for the World Cup. At the end of the day, I'm just being transparent with you. I don't think we're going to have what people think we're going to have. It's a lot of things that's going on right now that makes it kind of more challenging. Nobody sat back to think about the cost of plane tickets. Nobody thought about it. Think about it. The oil prices are crazy and they're insane right now. So you think that higher gas prices won't affect travel to the World Cup in the United States of America? I mean, we definitely got people in the States that support soccer, but I think the cost of traveling over here for the Cup is crazy expensive. Now, we may be dealing with people that are just like Americans when it comes to football, okay? They don't give a fuck. They will turn around and buy that joint. They don't care. I've seen it, okay? And it may be. I may be completely wrong with this. If you feel different, leave a comment. Let me know. I'm curious to hear what you got to say.
now is probably an upward in at least $5,000, $6,000. And that's just for June, and not to mention July at all.
Akintoy joined me on Zoom from D.C. He says originally he priced his 4-bedroom home that sleeps 12 for $1,100 a night. But now he's marked it down, hoping to attract tourists.
If there's an actual game, we left it around 900. There's not an actual game going on in a day. We brought it down to around 800, somewhere around there.
And it's not just Airbnb hosts having to cut their rates. So are some hotels.
It was a little over $800 after taxes and fees. It was virtually $1,000.
$1,050 to be exact. That's how much Danya Elliott says she paid for a one-night stay at the Tess in Buckhead during the World Cup. Keep in mind, this reservation was made in February.
So when I heard that hotels were not getting rooms booked and people were canceling, I went back online again. Same hotel room, same hotel, but it was $300 and something.
That's close to a $700 difference just 3 months later.
I was like, what the heck? They're ripping me off. That is a ripoff. To come down from $1,000 to $383, that is absurd, all because of one main event.
That hotel that I initially referred to tells me that their rates are cheaper for the World Cup in June than they were for the Super Bowl in 2019. In the newsroom, Chase Howell, 11.
So apparently hotel and Airbnb owners aren't really seeing the bookings and the money that they were promised or expected with the World Cup coming to Atlanta in a couple weeks. One Midtown hotel actually told our reporter that they were projecting $600,000 in bookings in June, but they've only booked $13,000. Airbnb owners are saying the same, that they really expected to be booked solid, but a lot of them have been dropping their prices because they're not really getting bookings. If you own a business or rental or Airbnb in the Atlanta area, I'd love to hear from you and if that's been your experience too.
So I'm in Metro Atlanta and they have the World Cup coming, right? June the 15th through July the 15th. And the hotels are playing in our faces. And I love when they F around and find out because people are not coming. If you booked a hotel room, cancel it and rebook it again. Look at this price. I live in Metro Atlanta, but I have a special event coming up in June during the dates of the World Cup. So I want to get a hotel room closer to the venue. This is a Marriott boutique hotel. $1,000, you guys. Okay? One night, $1,000.
Damn.
I booked that February.
Y'all doing a G a night? Oh my gosh. They was doing a G a night.
This I booked, I think, 2 days ago, May the 14th, May the 13th.
So that's $383.78. $383.78. That's better. That's at least close. At least close.
Like that. Look at that price. Look at that. $383. So $400. All because they were not getting the reservations they thought they would get. People are not coming to the United States for the World Cup because why would they? So if you are coming to Metro Atlanta during June the 15th through July the 16th or 15th, make sure that you go in to see if you can get another reservation for a lot less money. It's ridiculous how high these hotel rooms are, but I have to let you know, if you don't know already, Atlanta every day in the summer months always have some event popping off. And so you really try to get the best deal you can possibly find. But this was just really ridiculous. But anyway, I hope this helps you. Bye, y'all. Bye.
Ooh. But yeah, that's it right there. Hey, man, like, subscribe, follow for more content. I'm curious to see how this is going to really affect the Airbnb market. I'm mad curious to see if people are really... I saw a couple people on TikTok, but that's TikTok. You guys got to tell me, if you got an Airbnb for the World Cup, not to stay in, but to actually lease out, or if it's not an Airbnb, if you're going to be leasing out your house or a freaking lot for people to park their car in, or for them to put tents up, let me know what you're leasing out and where you're leasing it out at. Let me know. I'm just really curious. I'm mad curious. All right. Okay, shoot. Man, your boy was out. I was chilling. There was some days I had off this last week. I just slept like at least twice that day and went to the gym and slept and went to the gym and slept. I just needed rest. It's something about rest, man. It just helps you kind of move forward. But check this out. So I didn't get a chance to talk about this what would I call it? An event that happened. So if you don't know, federal judge gets hit. Well, you know what? I'm not even going to say anything about it. Come on, let me just go ahead and run this. I'm pretty sure you'll know what I'm talking about.
The judge is still on the bench here at the courthouse, while Atlanta police say they have launched an investigation. The judge in the middle of this misconduct scandal is still on the bench here at the Richard B. Russell Federal Courthouse. The Judicial Council reprimanded the judge back in February for judicial misconduct. Last week, a special committee confirmed their decision. This all came to light because several of the judge's law clerks started complaining. The Judicial Council says in its report that the judge engaged in an extramarital affair with a high-ranking police officer. The Associated Press and Fox 5 have learned that officer is a commander with the Atlanta Police Department. The law clerks reported that the federal judge and the commander repeatedly had sexual intercourse in the judge's chambers during business hours.
Now, you know what's so sick is that I literally went because I kept hearing about this noise. Like, I kept hearing, yeah, it was loud. It was just a bunch of noise coming from her chamber. And I kept running into this, okay? In this video. Now, I don't know if this video has any level of truth to it. It seems like it does because it popped up multiple times. And from what the clerk described, it sounds to me like the clerk recorded this and described it accurately. So I don't know if this is it. Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all tell me. What?
And y'all, federal judge Eleanor Ross, she has a type. At the top is her wonderful husband, Judge Brian Ross. He's a DeKalb County judge in Georgia. And then below is the man that she has an affair with, Atlanta Deputy Chief Kelly Collier. They kind of look alike, don't they? Now, if you wonder why I have Todd and Julie Chrisley there, well, because they're probably sitting there drinking their tea, laughing because, see, she actually presided over their trial. Remember when they did federal time for tax evasion, and then the court ruled that she miscalculated Julie's time. Julie went back to court. She gave Julie the same time, and then President Trump said, okay, they can get out. Forget all of y'all. Yeah, they're probably laughing now.
First of all, y'all need to quit coming for this judge. Y'all act like y'all never been in the spirit and caught the Holy Ghost. Like, she is clearly yelling for Jesus. Like, I don't understand why you're all up on her. Let her have her moment. It may have been a while. Like, she is.
Oh, yelling for Jesus. Yelling for Jesus. If there's any level of truth to that, and her husband is watching this and watched her yell for Jesus. Ooh, boy. And I think this has been going on for 2 years, from what I understand. For 2 years, she's been sneaking up the officer, the police chief up there, and they've been conducting business, for 2 years. 2 freaking years. And I had no idea that Todd Chrisley was actually sentenced to Fed time by this judge, him and his wife, in Atlanta. And all of that is coming out. That's insane, man. That's really that. See, when people say Atlanta's not a real place and you think about something like this, boy.
Calling for Jesus. She is in the spirit. She's in there praying.
Within earshot of the clerks. The Judicial Council goes on to say when the judge was first asked about this, she lied and denied it, calling the allegations outrageous and baseless.
So first she lied and then denied it. See, if we lied, and it's special privileges, I can tell already. It's really not equal here, because if we were to lie, if you were to lie, if I was to lie to a federal employee's a federal hearing or officer about some direct questions that they ask, what do they say? You're lying to a federal officer. You could potentially have time for that, or you can get arrested, or have some type. You can be prosecuted or charged for something like that. But in this case, it's changed. A federal judge can actually lie and then come back and change her mind.
She later recanted and admitted to her involvement. The report indicates the commander frequented the federal courthouse in uniform during lunchtime. A special committee investigated and interviewed 6 former law clerks, reviewed surveillance footage and sign-in logs, reviewed relevant documents, emails, and text messages, and affirmed the affair and inappropriate sexual activity did in fact occur. According to the Judicial Council, the judge was privately reprimanded and agreed to write 6 letters of apology to her former law clerks, forego service as a chief judge, and indefinitely refrain from serving on any judicial conference committees. A special committee explained that it had carefully considered more severe sanctions, but decided against that because the judge corrected her false statements, ended her relationship with the commander, and had otherwise had a clean record and rendered exemplary service to the court. And this is a federal judge, which means this is a lifetime appointment, and the only way she can be removed is by Congress.
This is the judge, and it was leaked by Todd Chrisley because apparently she's the one that sentenced him to 14 years and presided over his criminal case. Keep in mind, Todd Chrisley was pardoned by the guy in the White House. Now, the person she was hunching was a top-ranking police commander, and this is him. So there's no swirling going on at all whatsoever. And apparently they were hunching in the chambers, and it was so loud that law clerks said they were disturbed by the amount of kissing and moaning and music and like sounds that they heard coming from the chambers.
Look, I live in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta right now. When I first saw the story, I said, well, it's not, it's more indication. Atlanta's not a real place. Maybe I don't exist in a real world. I don't know, because this can't be a real story. But then here we are.
And this often happened while the judge and the police officer was in uniform. So not only are you hunching on the clock, but you're hunching in your uniform and everybody can hear you. Don't nobody want to hear all that. What's crazy about this is now Todd Chrisley is calling for her removal and saying she needs to be impeached and she needs to be removed. She couldn't preside on my case because she was.
I agree with him. And it's weird because she went doing this for 2 years. What other things? If she's immoral enough, and this is the problem. We have this thing where, I noticed this story. It's not like it really had traction. It was like, it's just gonna go away. But this is the same lady that's sentencing people to prison, to time. Like, you're guilty. Like, you're guilty. Here's your sentence. She's not even upstanding enough to actually not mess around on her husband. But she's upstanding enough to sentence you to 14 years in prison. Oh my God.
Congratulations.
What?
Well done.
Man.
Too busy getting her cheeks clapped, blah, 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 blah.
Judge Eleanor Ross, when you look at her cases and you look at how many have been flipped back from the appellate court, the number is astronomical. And that is something that we need to be looking into, because you have these judges that do not have the education or the bandwidth just because you graduate from and get your bar license. Look at what happened. The 2 prosecutors that prosecuted us, gone. No longer prosecutors. Careers down the drain. A judge that was an Obama appointed judge that is the ignorance of this woman.
She shouldn't have had her job in the first place.
She would have never had it if it had not been for DEI. Should have never had it. But look at her lackluster career, and how
was it 40% of cases overturned?
Yeah, and how her own.
That's a lot. 40% of her cases overturned? That's a lot. That's a lot of cases, man.
Colleagues laugh at her in closed doors, behind closed doors. How they talk about she needs help, that attorneys there on staff have to help her understand the case law. That she doesn't know anything about a financial case.
As a judge, you shouldn't have to have people explaining.
But again, she was elevated into that position. Not because of her brilliance.
Not because of her qualifications, but because she fit
that mold.
Fill a quota.
That's exactly right.
This is absolutely insane. If you're going to engage in an extramarital affair, don't do it at work. Don't do it at all. But certainly.
Atlanta's not a real place, bro. And every time you see a story like this, I realize more and more that we live in a different place.
Don't do it at work. Go to Motel 8 and hunch in peace, because everybody don't want to hear all that.
The report claims the judge had sex on at least 5 occasions over a 2-year period inside her chambers with a high-ranking police officer. Employees interviewed during the investigation described multiple incidents where they allegedly heard people having sex through the walls. One court clerk testified to hearing what was described as unsettling noises, kissing, and music coming from the judge's chambers. Why should the everyday person care about these allegations?
The American legal system depends on honesty and truthfulness.
This investigative report did not identify the judge or the officer, but multiple sources confirmed to Channel 2 that federal judge Eleanor Ross and Atlanta Police Deputy Chief Kelly Collier were the 2 accused. In the complaint, the judge's employee said she attended a primary election victory party for a district attorney on May 21st, 2024. A source provided Channel 2 this photo showing Ross at that party. The order also says the judge presided over a hearing the following day. Channel 2 obtained federal court records showing Ross presided over a supervised release hearing on May 22nd, 2024. And regarding the officer, the chief judge wrote the officer has worked for the PD since 1998, later adding that the officer has held this role since 2025.
Ooh, man, only in Atlanta. Only in Atlanta. Good enough now to send Todd Chrisley to jail for 14 years. His wife to jail, I think, what did she get, 10 years or 7 or 8 years, something like that? But you can't penalize her for clapping the cheeks in her office. Atlanta's not a real place, y'all. You gotta realize this place not a real place, man. Hey, it's not. It's just too much. Ooh, that's nasty. It's nasty. Nobody even talking about her husband? How does her husband feel? What? Ooh. Ooh. Man, shoot. What's this one right here? Let's see this one. Boom.
It has been nearly a year and a half since the LA wildfires raced through the Palisades and Altadena, destroying homes and neighborhoods. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Carolyn Johnson.
And I'm Robert Kovacic. Donations poured.
Hey, like, subscribe, follow. This, we're going to talk about I didn't know this. They got $2.5 billion in LA. $2.5 billion to rebuild the Palisades. I didn't see none of that bread. Nobody knew about that bread. They didn't advertise it.
In to help those who lost everything. Governor Newsom promised billions of dollars to help survivors, but NBC4 Investigates has traced some of the spending, and it wound up in places you may not expect.
Investigative reporter Eric Linder joins us now from the newsroom with more on what happened to all that money. Eric.
Hi, Carolyn and Robert. Well, you may remember seeing Governor Newsom and a bunch of local leaders out in Pasadena in the days after the Eaton and Palisades fires, pledging a $2.5 billion relief package for fire victims. Well, now we know a lot more about all of that money, that a lot of it hasn't been used, and the portion that was distributed actually sent very little directly to fire victims. Instead, much of the spending circulated through state agencies for their fire-related work, and we learned some of the money was even diverted to pay for crowd control in last summer's protests against immigration enforcement. This is where nearly $14 million of the state's relief money for the victims of the Palisades and Eaton fires was spent. Overtime for CHP officers sent to demonstrations in downtown LA where protesters marched against immigration.
Should they have used that money for that? Shouldn't it have been used for the people who needed to build their homes? Because a lot of those people didn't have insurance. A lot of people don't know. You can't. Insurance is crazy right now. It's crazy. Homeowners insurance, rental insurance, freaking your fix and flip project insurance. It doesn't matter. Insurance companies are charging an arm and a leg. California, they're just notorious for having issues when it comes to insurance. I think a lot of those people there were self-insured, or either they didn't have any insurance, and who would have suspected something like that would have happened? Oh no! I know. Who would have thought in a county, in a state where forest fires are out of control, any given season, when it's dry seasons, who would have thought, oh my gosh, I need to have insurance? I mean, but then who can afford it too at the same time? When they make it difficult, when the state is fighting with the insurance companies, and they're making them have certain guidelines and restrictions, and they're making it harder for them to do business, this is what happens.
In enforcement operations. According to this memo, the Department of Finance in June 20.
Granted, insurance is a scam.
2025 used some of the fire money for law enforcement unrelated to the fires, but diverting the relief money for crowd control was pre-authorized by state lawmakers.
I definitely would not want funds directed to anywhere but in the hands of the survivors who've lost everything.
Zaire Calvin has been working to help the victims of the Eaton fire that claimed the life of his sister and destroyed his family's homes.
You're looking at my lot, plural, which we had 5 homes on, lost so much. I've been an advocate since the fires, fighting for my community, rebuild everything Altadena. I had no idea $2.5 billion was designated for fire victims.
Governor Newsom announced the relief fund near the Eaton fire burn zone in the days after the fires, and fire victims told us back then they needed the help.
People who live in Altadena are hoping this is the beginning of more aid and more resources.
I would say thank you, obviously, right? Because we need it. But we need more.
The bill the governor flashed at that news conference was ABX 14, co-authored by Encino Assemblyman Jesse Gabriel. It directed the emergency money to protect health, protect the safety of persons or property, and expedite recovery. NBC4 Investigates has found that much of the $605 million spent from the fund went right back to state agencies. The latest figure from the State Finance Department shows about 75%.
Man, these people are so freaking corrupted, bro. 605 million of the 2.5 billion went back to the state. You know, I don't have any. I used to get upset with this thing when it came to the governors of California, the mayor of New York being one of them, Mondani. I used to really get upset with it. And I would get up here and I'll do a video and I'm like, and I'll point out, and I will definitely still do that, point out those situations. But man, I realize it's not, I can be upset as much as I want. I'm in Atlanta, bro. These guys are, the people who voted them in office, that's their issue. That's their biggest issue. That's why you had so many people trying to run against Bass, run against Newsom, run to replace Newsom, claiming we can do a better job. No. If the people put them there in California, listen, if you're in Cali and you're listening to this, this is your action. This is what you wanted. I'm just going to report on what you want, honestly, at the end of the day, because you like this. You like people taking your money, stealing from you, gutting you, lying to your children, stealing your generational wealth, burning your home down to the ground, and then turning around and telling you we don't have the money to replace it, or I'm sorry, we chased out all of the insurance companies. It's their fault. I mean, I'm sorry, it's y'all. You guys want this. So the rest of the world, I sit in the other side of the world, I'm just going to report and talk about it. And I'm hoping that people who watch this, you guys realize that this is, we look at California, we look at LA, and we say in the Palisades, and we say that this only happened there. This can happen in your state, this can happen in your city. When you put people in charge and you give them a lump sum of fucking money and you tell them to be responsible, they will give that money to all their pen pals that they write letters to and from, and their pen pals will get the bag. And you will be looking at them like, damn, what happened? I thought this was meant to clean up the homelessness. I thought this was meant to stop the fires. I thought this was meant to curb the property taxes. Guess what? Oh, no. No, it never was. That was never the intention. It was never designed for that. It was designed to show that money's flowing and moving. See, California's got a bigger issue than just this 2.5 billion. I mean, they got Hollywood leaving. You've got insurance companies, like I mentioned before, jumping ship. You can't build shit there. It takes about 5 years, depending on what county you're in, to get the from permit construction to finished project, sometimes a little bit longer. Okay? So this is the society we live in. That's why I tell people, I'm like, honestly, I think I'm to the place sometimes I don't even get mad at these reports anymore. It used to be frustrating because I would see them and I would say, damn, I can't believe they're doing this. Can't believe they're doing that. Can't believe they're doing that. And then I just had to stop one day and say, this is what the people want. This is what y'all want. Y'all like it. Y'all love it. Y'all want more of it. Give it to me raw, drill sergeant. Y'all just want this. And it's cool. It's all right. It's funny for me, and I'm going to sit back and watch. But damn well, I'm right outside of Atlanta. I'm going to vote in every local, which I already do, every local race that's taking place on that local level. And I want to know the mindset of the people that we put into those offices. Because I don't think they care. California has fallen.
Percent of the relief money promised was never released by the state.
I mean, $2.5 billion is a whole hell of a lot of money. And, you know, off the top of my head, I was like, no, I don't remember that at all.
Nicole Vasquez is a community advocate in Altadena, helping fire survivors while also being one herself. We asked her if she remembered any fire messaging from state health officials.
Do you feel like you got information from the state health department?
From the state health department? I don't remember getting anything from them.
That's because the spending records show it received $13 million from the relief fund. The department says it used some for air monitoring or testing and spent some making YouTube videos like this one.
Cleaning soot, ash, and smoke damage from your home after a wildfire.
It was posted 9 months after the fires. It's been viewed 181 times.
My name is Dr.
Oh, booty. Everybody need to get fired. Y'all taking millions to make this raggedy ass YouTube video. I could have done that for you guys, and I would have took your $1 million.
Anish Mahajan. For comparison, LA County's Department of Health produced its own videos in English and Spanish within a month of the fires. Our investigation found that a portion of the Fire Relief Fund did benefit some employers and employees directly and provided some tax relief to homeowners. The California Department of Economic Opportunity used $3 million from the relief money to help LA County small business owners and their employees. And $121 million went to LA County for temporary tax relief, as property tax payments were delayed for homes destroyed in the fires. But there were few indications that individual fire victims received direct aid.
100% there should be an expectation of direct help to everyone who lost everything in Altadena, including
This guy, he had 5 houses in a Palisade. 5 houses in his family's area. Honestly, I mean, he must be doing pretty well for himself to have had 5 houses for his family, it seemed like. And I would say, just out of fairness, why? Like, why wouldn't he be one of the victims that are fairly compensated for something like this? Fairly compensated. I'm not saying buy the dude new homes. I mean, at least take care of the property taxes for the next 5 years. Give him some time to clear it up and sell it. But I heard through the grapevine, and then also YouTube, that these lots aren't selling. Like, nobody's buying them. And I'm wondering, because that doesn't make sense to me. Strategically, it looks like it's one of the best positioned coastal type of, it looks great to me when I'm looking at the pictures. I haven't been to the Palisades before, but when it was standing, I have. But I would assume that people would actually make offers on it. Now, when I don't hear about people making offers and lots being sold and resold, it leads me to the conclusion that somebody's jamming it up. And it would make sense, right? If you got $2.5 billion that came in, and you got a bunch of people right here that are suffering, and they're probably into the billions, but taking care of all their property tax for the next 3 to 4 or 5 years. Listen, this happened. The state didn't take care of that. The state was rushing. We got back. There's wildfires. We know we had an issue when it came to insurance. This is what we're going to do. We're going to cover your state taxes for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years, giving you time at least to rebuild on there, issuing permits for y'all if you want to stay, who wants to stay. They don't want that. And they don't want that because they want the land. They want the land. They want the land. You got to see, they want the land. I'm telling people, and I'm scared, slow down. With the rise of AI, do you not know physical things become more valuable? That physical world right there becomes more valuable. The land, the real estate, all of that, the assets, the physical assets become more valuable. Somebody's doing a land grab, but they're not talking about it. Nobody's speaking about it. But I bet if you call some people, they probably were offered some money from the same entity. Hey, that's just my opinion on it.
including the 19 people who lost lives, to make sure that there's funding to bridge the gaps.
The LA City and LA County departments, fire departments received about $37 million in total from this fund to cover the costs of fighting the Palisades and Eaton fires. But there are major unanswered questions here about why more of this money hasn't reached fire victims. Governor Newsom's office declined our repeated requests for interviews, but they sent a statement late today. They said the money could only be used for projects that would later be reimbursed by FEMA. But we couldn't find language in the bill that authorized this relief fund that said anything about FEMA, and Newsom even said on social media last year there were no strings attached to the use of this money. Back to you.
All right, Eric, walk us through how you traced all this money, and will we learn more about what hasn't yet been allocated?
Yeah, so our producers and researchers and me, we've been working on this for months. In fact, we were close to reporting the story earlier this year, but we wanted to wait until we had the state's financial documents in hand, which, by the way, you can read at NBCLA.com. The State Department of Finance is keeping track of all of the expenditures, and after a lot of prodding, turned over some of the records a couple of months ago. They've updated us, so we know the amount spent as of this week is about about $605 million, and the department has promised another account statement in June, so we should know more. But one question we're still trying to get answered is what's going to happen to any of the unspent money, whether it could be returned to the state's general fund after a period of time, or if it will be preserved in place and given out as needs arise.
All right, Eric, thank you. Great work.
You got it.
California's going to file for bankruptcy. Chicago's going to file for bankruptcy. You're definitely going to see New York have some real challenges when it comes to budget, which they're having already. You know, really, really bad. Check this out. All right, cool, man. Hey, like, subscribe, follow for more content. I appreciate you guys jumping in, taking a look at what we're talking about. I always talk about crap. If I'm sharing anything that you like that's new, please hit a like button for the algorithm. Leave a comment. Leave a comment. Say, homie, leave a comment. 20 years in the real estate business. And I got to talk about real estate related stuff and getting y'all ready. Whatever. If it's not even real estate related stuff, just because my mama tell me to keep. Oh, man.
This is a story about big changes on tiny screens. Since its inception, the internet has become where we turn for content we mostly access through search, and that's mostly free. But of course, it's not really free. When we searched on platforms like Google, we were directed to web pages created by publishers who got paid for all those ads we spent time looking at. Now, all that is changing, and as AI becomes the new gateway to the web, it's transforming the economics of the internet.
We believe the high water mark for internet traffic, that was sent out from social media and search and AI tools, which were quite nascent at the time, was 2022. Essentially, over the last 4 years, those numbers have been dropping.
Rand Fishkin is an author and entrepreneur who specializes in online search, the main way that most of us interact with the web.
I do a lot of research with clickstream data, which essentially looks at devices and what they visit and don't visit. Whereas in 2011, Google was sending north of 70% of all searches to a third-party website, right? A website not owned or controlled by Google. And today that number is in the mid-40s and falling. That clearly indicates this zero-click trend.
Zero-click. It's a term for an online search result that doesn't lead to any other web pages. That can be good news for users if their question has been answered quickly and correctly. No need to spend time scrolling through all that text and pages of ads. But if you are a publisher counting on that click to bring traffic to your website and to sell those ads, it's very bad news, which means the creators of all that web content have to rethink the game.
Long before AI, Google started disintermediating content providers by answering questions right in the search results. You search for the Mets score, the score's right at the top. And AI just enhanced their ability to do this.
For an idea of just how big this change is for Google itself, here's the company's head of search talking about incorporating AI just last month.
Now we're entering the next chapter of Google Search, where incredible AI features aren't just in search. Google Search is AI search, through and through. Now, this is the biggest upgrade to our iconic search box since its debut, over 25 years ago.
The problem is that most people don't click on the links.
Okay, so this is going to affect all of you guys running. And honestly, I'm glad I learned how to do Facebook ads, honestly. And if you don't know how to do Facebook ads and you're running a business, I don't care if you're pressure washing, I don't care if you cleaning floors or if you putting in floors or gates, you really should learn how to do Facebook ads. The difference between the Facebook ads and the Google ads right now is tremendous. Facebook, even though with Google, you got to go and search for a specific topic and it pops up. Facebook, it's disruptive advertising. So when I run ads, and we'll probably run ads and have an ad spend probably $150, $300, $400 a month, a week. When you're running these ads, it's disrupting when people are scrolling through Facebook and they see your ad. Now, unlike Google, where Google, they have to search for it. And I've always started wondering this, how is it that Google is going to now support the people using PPL, pay-per-click, or PPC, pay-per-click, PPL, pay-per-lead, that type of system. Because the pay-per-click system is historically been a little bit more expensive, but at the same time, doggone, it's also been more effective. Like I've people who I know have ran that PPC tend to do a little bit better when it comes to volume than the people who run the Facebook ads. Now, Facebook ads are great, but PPC is just a different beast. What's going to happen now? What's going to happen now? This is what I personally believe. When I listened and I watched this, and I'm just showing you what I watched already, I'm personally seeing a bunch of old people thinking that content is, and it is content. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to go ham and say that it's not. Thinking this content is, hey, you make a website, you guys are advertising, or you have this particular service. Google funnels the people towards you when they search in an algorithm. That's true. They may have these links built in, but there are people who actually pay Google to pop up in that algorithm. Now, what happens to them? What happens to that whole business model with Google when it comes to this pay-per-click? I've seen AI, OpenAI, and I've seen it also in Gemini, where somebody will search, and I've done it before, and it would actually give me results for businesses that fit that. And so I know a company, they, do loans for people. And we were talking about how they got a lead and it came from somebody in Canada, or I think Canada or either California, one of those places, but it was completely out of their sphere. And he asked the guy where it came from. It came from the PPL, that pay-per-click, but it came through OpenAI. He told him, hey, I saw OpenAI gave me you as a suggestion. I was like, damn, where are they going to go with this? Oh, man. I personally believe this shit is going to be a different level. I kind of, when I saw this, and I'm going to continue playing this for you to see it. And thanks for hanging in there, too, and watching this. What I come to realize is that this avenue that we're talking on right now, this content that I'm creating under this brand of Real Estate Lunchbox, other people are creating content under their personal brand and things like that. That's going to be how people buy and sell shit moving forward. The more AI takes over things like search engines, and you don't do the traditional search you used to do before, and they're creating these traditional searches, but the use case for AI has skyrocketed. People are more going right to the AI, and they're getting away from going to Google for the search. I'm not. I still use Google for search. I still do. But I do see the fall off. I do see it. And when I watched this video, it was so funny. The funniest part about this is that I realized that these people don't know what the hell they're talking about. They really don't. And you would agree with me if you understood what I'm saying. Like, they don't know. The reason why they don't know what the hell they're talking about is because they're struggling and striving for a space that has become completely obsolete right now. If anything, if you're running pay-per-click leads and PPL leads, they should be giving you a discount, in my personal opinion. Okay? That's my personal opinion. I'll just leave it like that.
Caitlin Petrie is author of All the News That's Fit to Click and a professor at Rutgers who studies the way algorithms shape online media.
News sites that were counting on referrals from Google for their traffic, for their ad revenue, to draw maybe subscribers who might come to the site, get interested, and then subscribe, are now seeing, in some cases, very dramatic decreases in the traffic that they're getting from Google.
The move from print to the internet, many people think, actually eliminated some news sources. A lot of local newspapers, for example, were eliminated, partly because of the business model challenge, the revenue challenge. Do we face a risk of that with AI, that we will eliminate even further sources?
I think we do. I think it's a major concern.
It was really revealing. Perhaps nobody in the world has a better view of these changes and what they mean for online content creators than Neil Vogel.
What happened was our audience, right, and we reach half of America each month. Our audience on the internet was 75% from Google search, 2022. maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but ballpark that. That is now 25% of our audience.
Vogel is CEO of People Inc., the largest online and print publisher in America. It reaches 175 million people each month, with dozens of publications whose names you know well.
Better Homes and Gardens, People, Entertainment Weekly, Travel and Leisure, Food and Wine. And we put all of these brands together because we believed we understood how to run these classic heritage brands on the internet. And we've been proven right.
Although Vogel has had a front-row seat to the collapse in search traffic that AI has ushered in, he also told us something surprising. His business is booming.
We're very profitable, and we're defying the narrative around publishing that is publishers can't succeed in this world, and we're succeeding. We feel really good and really optimistic about the future of media.
Back in the day, before there even was an internet, believe it or not, there was a time. If you look at a publisher, newspaper, magazine, their revenue came from two sources, subscription and advertising. What's your revenue model?
If you look at the internet, that is where we thrive. That is our bread and butter. 90% of our profitability comes from our internet and our online presence. That is very much advertising, but it's also lots of other things.
Those other things include deals and branded products.
So pause right there. Check this out. They're walking right in front of a podcast station. And I started noticing this with Joe Budden's podcast, with some of the other ones that were out there that were more curated. And it's almost like a curated environment. You got the window outside. Everybody's chilling on a couch. And you'll notice it. You've got different brands of liquor, or you may have a book, or you may have a, whatever the case may be, in front of you, being advertised to you through the whole program. Matter of fact, I probably should do something like that myself. I don't know. But man, at the end of the day, what he's talking about and the reason why they're navigating this is that in right there. They're planting themselves in content spaces, whether you're talking about People, the magazine doing his own podcast, or whether you're talking about Better Homes and Garden having a podcast. That's what he means. We're making our money off the internet. I truly believe that these guys are so, not them, not the guy, not the CEO, not the marketing officer for People, but specifically the industry in itself shifted and changed a lot. A lot. What we're talking about when I'm having this exchange with you right now, I believe this is the new way that we're going to start doing business. You're listening to me largely because you heard this and you're like, man, let me stop and listen to this cat. And you may listen to some other videos. You may hear me talk about how to buy some real estate. You may click the link below, okay, and subscribe to our off-market property deals or something like that. All those free things. And the community is coming. I was working on it when I was off. Just letting you know, I was working. Community is coming. And it's a free community. Yeah. Because I'm tired of people struggling and not understanding real estate and listening to some of these guys who never even went to school for it, but you're getting all your content from them. Go ahead, continue. They've executed a little bit, but that's it. You guys need to know the full picture so you can stop making bad decisions when it comes to real estate. But this avenue is the advertising mechanism. This is the channel to advertise what service you have, whether you're a plumber, whether you're an electrician, whether you, I don't care if you pick up trash, you have a dog cleaning, trash, a dog poop scoop business. This avenue is going to be the avenue. So what interested me more about this when I saw this was the discussion around content and advertising, but they completely ignored where everything is actually going. And I realized why they ignored it. It's because they're ignorant and they don't know. They really don't. And I believe that when some of these companies, the ones that are used to being in that marketing space, begin to pick it up and understand, I think it's going to be too late for some of them. If you're an entrepreneur, if you have your own business, or let's say you work for a company and you have a specific role that you're just talented in and you just know what you're talking about and you know how to move, you should be creating content. Because the reality of it is, the old way where we used to turn around and run ads, and I would run all these ads and sit back and look at the amount of impressions that I get from those ads. Damn, this is a free platform where the amount of impressions rival that. And the leads that come in from people who are jumping on our off-market property list, hint, hint, at the bottom, our fixer-upper off-market property list, or getting a relocation, downloading a relocation package, and soon be able to jump on a school community and learn how to actually do real estate at your city, your town, where it is. And you're not looking for a guru to kind of teach you, because you actually got a clear formatted curriculum you can go through. And when you're done, you should be able to buy your own shit. You know what I'm saying? Take advantage of what's coming down the line. I keep telling people, it's a lot of stuff that's coming. People are losing their jobs. You got to know what to do, because they're going to look for solutions, and they're going to look for people in real estate to buy their house or to replace them on that note. So many different opportunities. So this avenue of putting that information out there, mastering it, will probably be the best thing to happen. And you're talking to somebody, we're close to 3,000 subscribers on this channel and a couple hundred on another channel, but growing rapidly. And I've only been doing this particular thing since November. Monetized it in 60 days. Hint, hint, link below how to monetize your YouTube channel in 60 days. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The way that content, the way that advertising for realtors, for insurance people, for all of y'all that have businesses, the way of advertising has changed. You can continue to do pay-per-click. You continue to do PPL. I believe it will hang on. And they might find a genius way how to incorporate it into Gemini. And hey, you know, they might have a KPI, key performance indicator, which shows, hey, these are the leads that come from Gemini versus this is what comes from searching on Google. Who knows? We don't know the future. But one thing we do know for sure, this is happening right now for companies that really understand it. And it doesn't matter how big or small you are. They're walking by that podcast studio, and when he says he makes money off, they're making money off the internet, and that's where their money's coming from and their data's coming from. You've got to believe it, because it's not just People Magazine that's doing this. It's anybody that's smart that's actually doing it. I don't pay for Facebook leads anymore. Even though I can build great Facebook lead ads and campaigns, I don't do it anymore. I just do content. And some people subscribe, some don't. So what next? Okay, so what next? So what next? But I'm putting it out there because it's a big thing. Don't let them have you in this deception that AI is coming, is going to take over the world. Honestly, that's a different conversation. We'll talk more about that on another program, because I'm putting down and putting the resources together, and I'm finding that the evidence, the information, the data, it's not true. It's not true. Some people are going to lose their job. Other jobs are going to be created in a mix of it. But AI is not they're going to hire back some of these people. AI ain't going to take over the world, bro. It's not there yet. And when it does get there, I don't think it's going to be I think it's going to probably be the next 5, 10, 15 years. I don't know. I don't think it's as soon as we think it is. And but I hear some smart people saying they don't think, and I agree with them, because they're changing their stories now. Okay? Hey, like, subscribe, follow for more content. Don't let this place make you scared. I am out. It's starting to rain where I'm at, and I'm ready to go. Hey, guys, I appreciate you taking the time to check out Real Estate Lunchbox. I'm going to be back on Wednesday at 12 noon, and we're going to talk more about that AI situation, because I want everybody to win. And with this free school community, shoot, I think I'm probably going further than I've ever done before in just giving away info. I'm just sad seeing people do dumb stuff and lose out on great opportunities simply because they just don't understand. And if I can take my 20 years of in this business, in this space, and help you win, then I'm a damn well do it. So you don't have to go to a guru, and I don't want none of your money. Keep it where it is, because I'm just gonna tell you what I'm doing. You can go do it. If you want to do something else, I don't care. I'm just gonna tell you what I'm doing. Like, subscribe, follow for more content. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.